Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Buckeye fans of all ages, this is the Ohio Podcast presents the Buckeye Lounge. I'm your host, Sean Schrock, along with my co-host, the Wolverine Slayer, TG, and our very special guest tonight, everybody, RJ Day. RJ, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. How's things going for you so far today?
They're going pretty good. I can't complain. Just off season, getting ready for junior season, and just excited to be on here with you guys.
We're
hmm
thrilled to have you.
Absolutely thrilled. I actually always wanted to try to interview someone like you.
Oh, geez, I haven't really done much yet. I mean, my dad's the guy who's done everything.
Honestly, I was just interested in seeing because I've checked out your film and I said he's a really good player. I would love to dive deep into his backstory a little bit more.
I got really good coaches around me. I got good players around me. I mean, that's what I contribute that to.
That's
I,
awesome.
I mean, come on, man. You broke the passing record at your school as a sophomore. I mean, the stats you threw up as a freshman or a sophomore. I mean, seniors would love to have them kind of stats.
hmm
Yeah, I just appreciate my coaches and my teammates and really everybody around me. I told you guys like those are the guys that made all that possible, and I'm just blessed to be in that opportunity.
You're,
Humble.
you're such a humble kid, man. Hey, how's it been going for you in recruiting lately?
It's going good. I just got my 12th offer yesterday, which is good. It's just building on that, and a lot of schools are coming in to watch me throw. I'll have a workout tomorrow morning, which will be good. And just really just trying to see what place is best for me, which staff I like the most, and what place feels like home.
When you're looking at these schools, what's at the top of your list of what you want? Development. I mean, some people pick development, early playing time, NIL's now a new thing. What's some of the stuff at the top of your list that you're looking for?
Like for me, like I know how important coaching is at the next level, just like being around it my whole life. So like just finding a good coaching staff that like understands what they're doing and has been established, like that matters to me just because like especially with this new transfer portal era, like coaches can just get up and leave or kids can just get up and leave. Like finding like a good foundation and like a program that's been established for a couple of years now will probably be very important.
Now, do you have a plan when you want to set your recruitment? I mean, when you want to commit? I mean, is it before your
No, I
senior
don't have
year?
one yet. I'll probably wait until around this time next year, if not a little bit later. But definitely no rush. Just trying to, you know, take things slow because I don't want to really jump into any decisions.
Okay, that's good. I know you said you're pretty much looking for coaching in the school that you pretty much go to, pretty much obviously because coaching matters in every sport. But what else are you looking for in a school? Are you also looking at the education and other stuff that maybe as well as the culture and everything to see where you fit?
Yeah, there's a lot of boxes to check with our family. My mom is very much into my academics, so obviously it's going to have to be a school that is going to better me off when football's over. And, that's kind of like my mom's side of things, making sure I'm set up for when football's over. And then on my dad, like, he just want me to be in a good place where we feel like I'll have an opportunity to play and have good guys around me and put me in a good situation to be successful.
That's good. You talked about how you are want to be set up for like off the field, how your mom wants you set up off the field. What is it that you want to do off the field? What are you interested in doing off the field when it comes to football?
I mean, I'm a regular high schooler. I mean, that's the way like I have a girlfriend and I go play golf with my friends and we hang out and like right now I just like enjoy spending time with them and just spending time being a kid. I know that that won't really I won't really have the opportunity to do that forever just because, I'll have to grow up a little bit faster just being that I'll have to early enroll out of college wherever I go. So I'm just trying to enjoy that while I can.
Now, do you play any other sports, or is it just football?
My whole life I played basketball and I ran track and I played baseball and I also, like I said, I golf. But, just in the summers now I really just golf and I really am just focused on football because football's kind of becoming a year-round thing now, playing 7-on-7.
How do you enjoy that 7-on-7?
I like it, it's good for a quarterback. Obviously, there's no rushers. You don't have to really have any stress about that kind of stuff. So I like that part of it. Sometimes you get yourself into some lazy habits with your footwork just because, again, there is nobody coming after you. But I like it because, it really slows down the reads and it gets you ready for the summer, which gets you ready for the season.
Yeah, when it comes to 707s, there's also the Elite 11 for quarterbacks, as we all know, to try to get you guys out there for bigger schools to try to come see you. What is it about the Elite 11 that you look forward to? Like what type of things do you expect coming out of it?
So my whole life I've just gone to the regionals because the Elite 11 finals is only for upcoming seniors. So I think they do a great job with the Elite 11. I have a ton of respect for those guys. Coach Brian Stumpf, he does a great job running it, and it's just a great opportunity for you to go in there and compare yourself with some of the best guys in the country. And, like just eyeing up those guys and comparing myself with them has been great. And, it really gives me perspective on where I am and what I need to work on.
Oh, that's really good. The other thing is too is how would when you look back at the two seasons, obviously you had two outstanding seasons that we talked about, stats that seniors would love to have. What is it that you try to learn from your seasons as far as the good and the bad?
Every season's different. You learn something different about yourself with every season that passes. So I'd say my freshman year, I just tried to establish myself, and I was swimming a little bit because I was still a young kid trying to play against a lot older kids. So you kind of learn how to earn your keep my freshman year, and then my sophomore year, really just learned how to start to play within myself. And I feel like this junior year, I feel like I'm ready to take my next step.
Oh, Sean just went offline. Okay, so I'll continue. Um, what is it that you're looking forward to about your junior year, as far as like the competition, as far as well as pretty much just as far as your adventure going into your junior year?
Yeah, I'm excited about a lot of things. I think that every year that passes, you look for something different. Yeah, how to make yourself better. I think that this year is especially big for me, just being a high schooler. Your junior year is usually your most important year recruiting wise. But again, not to talk about me. Like I'm excited for my guys. I think that they're gonna have a big year this year, and I think that giving them the opportunity and making them better is gonna be big because I want my guys to get some love too, and I think they're ready for that.
Sean.
Now, RJ, what is if there's one thing that you look at your game that you really want to work on this offseason that you think, man, there's one thing I really need to get better at, what would you think?
Um, you know, as a little kid, you just throw the ball around, but as you get older, you got to get bigger and stronger, and you got to get through the ball further and have a stronger arm. So I've been really working on that this offseason. And I think I've done a pretty good job up to this point, but there's still a lot of work to be done. And yeah, that's probably the one thing that I came into the offseason thinking about is how can I get my arm stronger? So the answer to that is with the weight room and just putting a lot of time and effort into that.
No, being that around your dad's program all these years, you've been around a lot of great quarterbacks he's had. I mean, there's been Dwayne Haskins, there's been, CJ, there's been Justin Fields and Will Howard this year. Who would you say you try to pattern I mean, is there a guy that you try to pattern your game after? Is there somebody that you really look up to out of them guys?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that really any of those Ohio State guys, because Ohio State's known for just having those big pocket passers, and but they're athletic too. I wouldn't say like Justin Fields and those guys are really athletic, but I would say like those are bigger guys. Like for me, my favorite college player is Bryce Young, just because we're similar in our size, and he's somebody that I really have looked up to and just like try to model my game after. And then Johnny Manziel, just because he likes to run around and make plays, and in the backyard as a kid, you always wanted to be the guy that made the big play or extended a play and threw a long touchdown and stuff like that. So those are the two guys that I try to imitate. That's not always possible because those guys are really good, but those are the two.
There was also a smaller guy on the from the Boston area. Your dad could probably tell you about named Doug Flutie, who was
Yeah,
very mobile and small and could really sling it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was a great player. I know he won the Heisman Trophy back when he was at Boston College. So yeah, he's another great.
That's actually pretty amazing. So what is it about like football? What got you into football to begin with exactly? And what got you into sports in general?
Like you grow up and you're just around the game all the time, and as a kid, like you want to be just like your parents. So that was the way that I would connect with my dad, and just building a relationship. is we would just go out in the backyard, play football, or I would go to his practices and just watch his players. And like over time and as you grow up, like you just begin to fall in love with it. And over the time, I've just fallen in love with the sport. And, I'm hooked on it now. It's kind of like a sickness, but I wouldn't want it to be any other way. Just, I mean, I like I tell people all the time, like football is what I want to do.
Okay. Actually, a friend of ours, Tyler, actually has a question for you. He says, what is your greatest strength as a person, in your opinion, or as a player?
I want to do that as a person because, as a person, it's obviously always more important than the person you are as a player. But as a person, I would just feel like I try to be very genuine and I just want to be down to earth compared to, a lot of people that would be in my position. Like you look at somebody who grows up in this situation. I've seen a lot of guys who let that get to their head, but my thought process is just like I haven't really done much yet, and I have a lot to prove. So I just got to stay humble and let God do what I need to do and let Him take care of the rest.
That's really good. Sean, you can go ahead.
Now, have you? I know that you spent a lot of time at the practice facility. Have you got a chance to throw to J.J. Smith or Cardinal Tate or any of those guys?
Yeah, yeah, I throw those guys a decent amount. I throw with them in the summer, because I'm pretty good friends with Julian and Tavian and guys like that and Will. So I got a chance to work out with them, and obviously the receivers there are their receivers, just like they would be my receivers at the sales. So it's been good.
What's that like to throw one up to J.J.?
You got to get it out fast. You gotta just get it out and throw it as far as you can because it doesn't really matter where you're gonna throw it. You're gonna go get it.
Hey, just playing with those wide receivers actually, like, because we all know when it comes to Ohio State, it's NFL wide receivers all day. Does it pretty much help kind of show you what NFL receivers are supposed to be, basically?
Yeah, it's always a little bit of adjustment coming back to my high school receivers after working out with those guys. The ball comes out a little bit too early sometimes, but that's kind of a good thing as a quarterback. You don't want to be late, but I'm thankful for both guys. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to throw with those obviously great players, but I know my guys put in just as much work as those guys. So.
Yeah, given the fact that you've been up there so much, I don't want to always make this, but what have you learned basically from, like, Justin, Dwayne, CJ, and Will, the time you've been there around those guys and everybody else at Ohio State?
You learn something different from every guy because every person's different. Every experience is different than the guy before you and the guy that's going to be after you. So you learn a little bit about the game through everybody, and I could talk an hour about each guy. But I know we obviously don't have time for that. But if there's any guy like in specific that you'd want to hear about, I could talk about them for a little bit.
I would love to hear about Dwayne Haskins. He was my favorite quarterback at Ohio State. So, do you got a story you could tell us about him? Maybe something cool that nobody might not know about.
Yeah, yeah, I got a good one for you. So I was very close to Dwayne. Dwayne was like an older brother to me. Um, I had just finished football practice in whatever it was, elementary school, like fourth grade, third grade, and my mom was on the phone with somebody and said, "Here, somebody wants to talk to you." And he was like, "What's up, buddy?" And he's like, "Put on some clothes. I'm gonna be there in 25." I didn't know what he was gonna do. He just picked me up and he took me to the local high school football game, and then we went out and got food after. And that really just explains the type of kid that he was. He had the biggest heart, and even a elementary school kid like me, he thought on a Friday night on a bye week that he should go spend time with him over the millions of other people that would want to spend time with him, and that meant a lot to me, and that's something I'll never forget. And I was really close with him, and that's why I write on my wrist at before every game, "Long live Dwayne Haskins," because I just want to carry his legacy on.
That's
That's really
amazing.
cool. Yeah. Um, I would also say this. What is it that I'm gonna say this has being around such great people, being around such a great culture, like really helped you, like, pretty much grow as a leader, as you could say.
Yeah, leadership's all about what you do and how you set the example for the guys. So, being a guy around guys like Will Howard and Jack Sawyer and Trevion Henderson, you see what the blueprint is on how to lead. Because there's an art to leading. Like leadership is
Hmm.
the ability to impact the people around you. Um, so like leading a group here is going to be different than leading a group there. So you have to apply the same principles to this group. And, make the guys really believe and buy in is really important. So just knowing your audience and knowing the people around you is really important.
One question I got for you: if it's say it's 4th and 5, what's the one play you're going to? If there's one play that you love one
Oh,
pattern
jeez.
that you love to throw, do you have a favorite throw, a favorite go to that you really love to go to?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of complicated. It's going to be hard for me to kind of explain here without a whiteboard, but I would like a pause on my. It's kind of like my one high beater on my left side, and I would have a drive concept on my backside. I work that against too high. If I get my man look, I know I'm hot on the inside fade, so that they can't bring 0 and 4th and 5 because some teams really like to bring pressure on 4th down. Um, and I got a hitch for free access if the corner wants to back off to take an easy first down. But if those guys want to play too high quarter to cover two, you can work your drive concept and work off that will.
Man, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's
Thank,
incredible.
thank you, man. That's awesome.
Hey, given the fact you said you try to model your game after like Johnny Manziel and Bryce Young, what's your favorite? Would you say your favorite type of playing style is like the play at your pass, RPO? What's your favorite? What's your favorite overall
Like just
type of
play
style?
fast and play whistle to whistle. Like when I say that, I mean like extend the plays and the play's never over until the whistle's blown. So like just, extending plays, finding guys downfield open late, making plays with your legs, like really like it's kind of hard to explain. Like, like that feeling when a quarterback's running around behind the line of scrimmage and then throws the deep ball downfield, like just like that to me is like that's like the best highlight in my opinion. Um, but like that shit that kind of like shifty, kind of like get out of the pocket, break a couple tackles, make a play, kind of like that. That's what I mean when I say that.
All
Love
right,
it.
that's really good. I love that actually. Um, the other question I would have is, you were around like Chip Kelly for before because of his affiliation with your dad. What is it that you've learned from Chip Kelly when he like does he give you like little pointers and stuff?
Yeah, I've known Coach Kelly since I was born. He was my dad's OC in college, so those two have known each other forever, long before I was even a thought. So I knew him when my dad coached under him at the Eagles and coached under him at the 49ers. Um, Coach Kelly is one of the smartest football individuals I ever met. So, you learn something different every time you talk to him. So I can't just put my finger on one thing, but and just an abundance of knowledge and a great, great mentor.
That had to be pretty special for your dad and Chip to win one together. You know, this year. I mean, they had to be just awesome that they helped each other. Get their first natty.
Yeah, yeah, and that was a really big deal. Like we that night celebrating, it was those two up in our hotel room, and you know it just brought back a lot of memories of because they went 2-14 at the 49ers. Like it hasn't always been good. Like
Sure.
they got fired at the Eagles, they got fired at the 49ers, but just to be at the top like that was just so much more special being those two.
Who would you say is the more competitive between you and your sisters?
It's definitely me. Like we'll play pickup basketball and they won't talk to me for 2 hours because they tried to call a charge, but it wasn't a charge. Like it's pickup basketball. There's no fouls. There's no charges. Like I don't know what they're trying to talk about.
Awesome. Sean, you got a question?
Just the one. I think the one memory that I always have from this year that a lot of Buckeye fans have is just after the national championship, watching you with your dad and your mom and your sisters sing Carmen, Ohio, and having the national championship trophy. I think everybody at least got teary eyed for that. That just was just an awesome moment, and I'm glad that
Yeah,
you got.
no, it was really special. Just a lot led up to that point. A lot of just scrutiny and having to deal with a lot. So that moment was really special for us.
It was well
As
deserved.
it was real well deserved. Hey, one of our friends here wanted to ask, do you think you could beat your dad in the throwing competition?
No doubt. Absolutely. This has been settled.
We
This has
have a
already been
friend.
settled.
We have a friend in the chat, and his screen name is Ryan Day's Championship Beard. That's his screen name.
That's funny.
Hey,
And
that is awesome. Sean.
well, we appreciate you staying. We know you can only stay about 20 minutes, so we know it's a school night, and plus you got a big day ahead of you tomorrow too. So,
Appreciate that.
well, we appreciate you coming on, and anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome to. And please let your dad know that we say thank you and we appreciate everything he's done for this team and our fan base. That we really do appreciate him.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate you guys taking time and letting me come on here.
Hey, good luck
And
tomorrow, man. Go kill it.
Thank
yeah,
you.
go kill it, man. Go out and do your thing. We're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
be
I'll
rooting
try
for
to.
you.
All right, see you guys.
See you,
See ya.
RJ. Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks. That is pretty awesome. Getting a chance to talk to RJ. While we can't obviously while we couldn't have him for longer, it's actually going to be pretty awesome when you get a chance to interview a guy like that, because I always like wanted to interview this kid, mainly because I was so interested in like learning his roots in the best way possible.
He had a recruiting call to take, so and he had,
Yeah.
we knew it was a school night and he had a big day ahead of him tomorrow, so we didn't want to keep him too long. We were just we appreciate the time they just came on with us for the 20 some minutes. And what an awesome kid. And would you expect any less? I mean, look who his parents are, how great of a human being his mom and dad are. I mean,
Hmm.
he fits right in there with them, man. That kid's an amazing kid. And no matter where he goes to school, I will always cheer for that kid, pull for him.
Always, I would love cheering for that kid. I'm gonna be rooting for him. As a matter of fact, I'll be watching his college games when he comes down, when he comes to the Division 1 level. I can't wait.
I just wish him nothing but, success. Now, TG, we've had quite a week of interesting things going on here. I bet you
Hmm.
really wanted to discuss about your buddies up north, huh?
Oh yeah, cause I'm finna rip you fools. You fools got some explaining to do, cause I done called y'all out before. Now I want to hear your explanation for everything that's going on. Cause what's gonna be your next excuse, huh? What's your excuse? Oh, Sherrod Moore didn't want to miss the Oklahoma game. That's why he took the games after the fact. Oh, like Shunta. Oh no, it was just he just wanted to get a bigger paycheck and whatever. Like, is that really it? Or are you talking about like, or like how you guys made the excuse about the Central Michigan head coach saying that he retired because he was miserable at Central Michigan? Even though this dude literally has signed a freaking 5 year extension, 7 year extension, and was literally a year into it when he retired. And why would he leave all that millions and millions on the table? You can jerk off with you freaking losers. Everything that Buckeye
Yep,
Scoop,
yep, yep.
myself, and everybody have been saying, calling you little pansies out, is happening because Michigan is admitting guilt, people. They wouldn't do the stuff they doing without admitting it. And guess what? They tried to fight your little fight. They lost. And now it's finna be time to bring that freaking hammer down. And guess what? Myself, Sean, Kirk, and Nevada and them, all of us, Eric, everybody, we finna be up on here drinking champagne, freaking partying all day long when that freaking sanctions hit. Cause trust me, if it meant nothing, this stuff would have been settled. But it didn't. So guess what? Get ready for the hammer, and you Michigan fans are gonna be nowhere to be found. Except for two of you, at least. Well, three actually, because Burks, unlike you clowns, actually can stand on business.
Well, San Ono just went to Florida for a suntan. The weather's nice down there. Had nothing to do
Mm-hmm.
with the football. It had nothing to do with the sanctions
Mm-hmm.
coming down. He was just going down there for a vacation. Come on, it's
Right.
nicer down there. You don't want to live in Michigan in the winter. Of course, no one wants to live in Michigan at all. So let's keep it.
Who would?
Let's be honest there.
Who
What
would?
was what was cracking me up on Twitter is all these Michigan. I saw a couple of the podcasters laughing, saying, "Oh, this is the hammer. Oh, 2 game suspension for Sharon Moore.
That is
That's the
Michigan
hammer."
trying to get ahead of this. You freaking dummies. The NCAA is either going to suspend that guy for like 1 to 2 years, if we're being honest, because y'all don't understand. The NCAA hates y'all, just like the Big Ten commissioner hates your guts, because you gave them the double bird and you tried to threaten to sue them. Which, what did people tell you before? If you flip off the NCAA like USC did, because you notice what happened to USC. What happened to them? They ain't been the same since the NCAA
Nope.
slapped them upside the head for disrespecting them. And you obviously also didn't learn from your arch rival, because we didn't take a bowl ban and we got banned a freaking year later. So you didn't learn anything. Instead, you just got all this cockiness and this arrogance. And you think Santa oh no want to be involved in this? I'm like, heck no. Even though he's one of them idiots that was tweeting bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
bet Santa like nothing was gonna happen. Bet Michigan fans nothing was gonna happen. Now
He
you
jumped off the
scurrying
ship.
looking for excuses.
Jumped off the ship with all the other rats.
Just like all the rest of them.
Yep. Sharon Moore's left. And you know what? They gave him a nice little contract and $16 million of staying and basically
Great job.
take the hit for them all. So
Except it's actually gonna hurt your program just as badly, if not worse.
it's gonna set them back big time. And then
It's gonna set them back like 20 years, if anything. And think about it too. Like, you had that idiot Carter Stallions, like obviously them bragging about this whole thing. You have Jim Harbaugh like lying out of his teeth. Everybody, if you go down this coaching staff, legitimately, and I mean if you go down this coaching staff, there is so many scandals just with this one coaching staff. And you don't even have to get into the freaking analysts next. Like, think about it. You got the head coach who's been suspended twice. You current head coach has already been suspended 3 games before. You have coaches that have been fired. Not only that, but you got a pedophile and a pervert. You enabled that. So much so that recruits don't even want to go to your school anymore. No, seriously. Recruits has literally, and I mean this when I say this, don't want to go to Michigan. They flat out hate this program because they knew they were getting lied to by Michigan about the whole thing. They knew it. They were already hesitant to go there, but once this Matt Weiss stuff came out, on top of the whole little thing with that other coach, with him trying to hook up with a 13-year-old girl, once we pretty much realize that and they see what's going on, they're like, yeah, we're not going to your school. Back off, punk. We're not going there. No. We're not finna be punished for the stupidity of your program.
guys,
And parents don't even want their kids going there. Like, y'all are just no.
It's only a couple weeks away. I mean, June 6th, I think they said.
June 6th, June 7th, June 6th, June 7th.
I mean, come on. I like all these guys that said nothing was going to happen, or the Fisher Price Hammer, John Diamo, TJ Rowan, Yoder,
Right.
and you guys put your money where your mouth is.
They never do.
Blue Wolverine, Moose. What's funny is after this all comes down, there won't be many of them around. It'll be like a ghost town on Twitter. That'd be nice.
Oh, you're only going to see, like, again, you're only going to see Burks, because Burks, unlike all these clowns, actually stand in the freaking paint, which is why I respect him, is you are one of the very few Wolverine fans that will stand in the paint and not take it to a personal level. You're one of the very few that I actually respect, which is why when I told Burks, and I told this to Burks before, I don't hate all Michigan fans. Like I said, I like him. I respect him, at least. I like Maze Madman. I actually like a couple of you. It's the majority of you I cannot stand. 99% of you are absolute douches. You act arrogant. And not only that, like, they talk about how, because remember, Burks brought up the fact that we were seen as the most quote-unquote toxic fan base. And it's like, dude, you realize, not because he wasn't lying. Somebody had us ranked as that. And I said, bro, you do realize it's because Ohio State probably wins a lot. And when we lose, that fan base can be absolute, like, mainly to your arch rival. That's when that fan base is toxic. If you lose to your arch rival. You lose to your arch rival, that's when that fan base is toxic. That's the utmost.
Nobody's happy when they lose their arch rival, but when you lose to Michigan, but it's so much different now that you get the, it's not the end all be all like it was before. I mean,
yeah, I don't think you're going to see Ohio State fans act that toxic as they used to.
I mean, I get it. After the game, guys vent, but come on, don't be threatening anybody. If you want to question somebody's call on a 3rd and 3 or what coverage they were playing or, a certain pass play, or even their total, plan. I understand that. But when you start threatening people or taking shots at people's family, dude, come on, guys. We're better than that. We don't need to be doing that. So the 3%, if you're watching, stop it. Don't do that again.
Yeah, it's only a small portion of Buckeye fans that do that. Like, the 95% don't do that. They're really respectful. I mean, honestly, they hate those fans that did that crap. Like, I was like, who goes that far? Listen, I vent after the game, but I'm not going to threaten no man's family. What is wrong with you?
No.
Like, don't ever do that.
No, not at all.
That's what's super funny, though. And if you look in the chat right now, where the scum fans at? I know, because I know we had one in here in the call-in show, like, yesterday, who was acting like a total scoof and was getting roasted across the chat, which was super freaking funny. I was like, dude, you just getting killed. Like, just take your L and leave. Like, if you're not gonna call in, shut up, get off the call, get off the chat, and don't come back. Like, until your little pansy self decides to step in the paint like Barks does, then please get off the freaking thing. Because otherwise you're gonna keep getting owned. Because guess what? In the chat, we could get away with saying whatever we want to you compared to what we could say on here. So just
But
understand you're
we
gonna get
can't
it.
cuss. Eric runs a clean channel, so let's be clear here, guys. No cussing or no attacking anybody. I mean, let's. I mean, if you guys want to tease them about being Michigan fans or call them out on facts, cool. But guys, don't ever take personal shots at people and don't threaten
Oh
anybody.
no, they don't take
Mm,
personal shots or threatening
No,
anybody. But
no.
I mean, they're only going to do that if a Michigan fan pretty
I mean,
much goes that
yeah,
far. That's the only way I can
we're
see it.
better than that. So I mean, I know it gets tough sometimes, and some of them are, push it to the limit. I've been there before where they push me, and I get it. But hey, guys, when it comes to this chat and when we talk, we want you to have fun, but no personal shots at people, and stand up for your Buckeye friends, stand up for this team, give them guys, give them scum fans, a thrashing like TG always does.
I always do.
But be respectful. That's all we ask.
Yep. And Chris, I said it before, they're pansies. Because they will never, ever, ever
No,
show up when you call them out. They just never do. They will
no.
continuously, forever be pansies. That's just what they are.
That's what they do. They'll look you up on Twitter. They'll stalk your page. They'll say all kinds of stuff. But when like when Blue Wolverine went at us and made that video clip and put Eric on it, and Eric said, "Hey, Blue Wolverine, come on the channel anytime and talk to me. You're free to debate." You wouldn't do it. I mean, guys, if you're gonna run
Hmm.
your mouth, come on here and debate us. I mean,
I mean,
call in,
myself,
debate us.
Sean,
You
when you
know,
and I were on the on our former channel, we called him out and said, come on here, please do." Because we'll put the link in the chat and you could come on in. It's like I talked about with Maniac. Remember, I told you shows ago when we were on our former show on the Buckeye Boys. When we were on that show, he came in our chat acting like a total douche. And I said it before. Hey, you want to come in here? I put the link in the chat. You could come in here and really want to defend yourself. Disappear from the chat, was never to be seen again
I mean,
until
hey,
the end of the show, and because you knew we were going off the air. And I said, "Hey," but when I called him, that's when he left because he
yeah,
thought he's like, "Nah, dude, I can save a little extra hour on the show if you extra minute, maybe two, if you want to come on here." Guess what? Disappeared from the chat again because you thought I
like
want to go see you.
they called me a troll, and I went right in there, right on Maze Madman, sat in the paint, had a good conversation with him, and believe it or not, it was all respectful, and we talked football. I think that's
Hmm.
maybe one of the only times that I've actually sat down with Wolverine fans, and it didn't get into didn't get violent, didn't get screaming at each other. We actually had a legitimate football talk, and I wish it'd be like that more. That we could get people that would come on. I mean, Burks does come on, and I give
Yep.
him, credit. Eric does too. Chris does. I mean, we like to, if other guys wanted to come in here and talk, you know, and debate, we'd be down with it. But when you start attacking people, nah, we ain't cool with that.
Yeah, that's when you're like, because I said it before, unless you really want to see the worst in me, try to take personal shots.
But
Don't want to see me. Because I would even call you out to come and see me.
now, TG, we got some other news this week. Receiver U just keeps getting more receivers. I tell you, Caden Dixon, Wyatt, Chris Henry's teammate on a modern day, another 5-star, coming to hang out at the University of Ohio State.
Not shocking. I called it. I didn't believe Oregon was going to get him because I'm like, I could see this kid coming to Ohio State for this very reason, to be developed into an elite receiver. And he basically just said it.
See,
Which, honestly, if you think about it, kind of made some fans, like, if I'm a fan base, I do kind of feel some kind of way. But at the same time, is he lying?
I heard that him and his parents sat down, they watched the draft, and they saw, who gets developed, who gets drafted, and they decided to take a little bit less of an NIL deal to come for the development, because you're going to make that back and even more. I mean, the funniest thing that I saw on Twitter today was this Oregon fan tried to claim that the only reason Ohio State took Chris Henry Jr. and his buddy Caden Dixon Wyatt. It was just a troll Dan Lanning. They didn't really want him. That they already had enough
What?
receivers that they were doing it just to mess with them. And I thought that was hilarious, man. They're just taking it to mess with Dan.
No. What? I mean, what are we talking about? Honestly, you know what's even funnier? I've seen some of these same type of fans talk about they basically they bought them. Is what they say. And I'm like, since when does Ohio State spend money on high school recruits?
No.
They're not you. Y'all do this all the time.
And now
Ohio
you're
State
gonna
basically tells you they are not giving money to just anybody. Like you have to come and work for it, like Jeremiah Smith did. You think they just gave him the freaking bag? No, they gave him a great NIL deal, if I'm being honest. And then when he freaking took off and had pretty much, I would say, the greatest season in the history of as far
freshman.
as true freshman wide receivers, because I cannot recall a true freshman wide receiver ever having a season that Jeremiah Smith had as a true
No.
freshman. That's never happened. And when guess what? When he was doing that, he was getting the bag. Because guess what?
He
How much you
deserved
not
it.
pay him?
He
Guess how
deserved
much?
it.
Exactly. Like that's what Ohio State does. Like we talk about it. Like I think the floor base for Ohio State was like 20 million spent, but the more their players played well, the bigger their paychecks got, in my opinion.
Well, what they don't realize is Columbus is a white collar city, and there's a lot of Fortune 500, companies there. You know how many companies were going out and trying to grab like JJ or try to grab Carnell Tate or Will Howard or Jack Sawyer and give them a deal? Hey, come here and model our
Tamper.
product, use our product. Let us, there's so many
Yeah,
deals.
like it's how many of them were trying to tamper with our players? It's like, wait a minute, especially Oregon, because they were like tamper with like several of our players, and they all said, "Nah, we good."
Yeah, well, they probably realized their shoe was never going to come out in the first place, So
Pretty much not. I mean, pretty much like Devin Sanchez pretty much said it best. Don't go to Oregon for no shoe deal. Don't. Like you be an idiot to go there for a shoe deal, because that ain't never coming. That was a total lie. No matter what anybody realizes. But hey, like some kids, and not only that too, but like with these kids, they look at Ohio State like, listen, yeah, you can give me this wealth now, but how beneficial is that? Like the kids that Ohio State gets chases development and have full on faith that with the development, the money comes, which it's
yeah,
true. I mean, look at our players in the NFL. Do you know how many Ohio State players are making total in the NFL?
a lot of them are. I mean, look how many first rounders we put out year
Yeah,
after. I mean,
the last time I seen it, it was like 23, I want to say. The last time I seen how much total Ohio State players are making. I don't know how much has changed since, but it was like 1.4 billion, something like that. I gotta go back and check to see because I don't want to be just so don't chuck me down for that. But I believe it was like 1.4 billion. And the only team that was ahead of us was Alabama at 1.5 billion. Back when like with the Nick Saban era, that's like
mm,
those are the two teams with the highest paid players, and it was only like a 0.1 difference between the two. And then the next was like I think LSU, and then I think Georgia. Then I believe it was Notre Dame, and then if you go down the list, what's super funny is Michigan's not even on the list because like once Tom Brady and Chad Henne retire, man, the, like their money just.
well, Jake Long had a good career, but there was just a few of them. I mean, honestly, if you look, if you look at LSU, you'd think they're high because Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are getting the bank. I mean, it depends on what positions you put into the NFL. I mean, some of them.
I actually did look at to see like how many of their players were getting paid, how much money they were getting paid. Obviously, like Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Odell Beckham Jr. when he was still playing. So yeah, they were getting paid. But then there were a couple other players. I cannot remember their names for nothing, but there were like some other players that was getting paid great, like big money. I can't remember who, but I just know there was. I always look at to see how many players are you talking about, like what Ohio State's players. I mean, we talked about it with the defensive line and the offensive line. They all like are some of the highest paid players at offensive line and defensive line. We have some of our players from the offensive line, defensive line are among the highest paid. The wide receivers, don't be surprised. I mean, Garrett Wilson can make like 35 million right now. When his fifth year option is up, when his contract is up, that guy's gonna be making a boatload of money. So
I mean, look, imagine what CJ is going to get.
oh, he's gonna get the bag, no doubt. Like the only way I can see CJ doesn't get paid a whole lot is if he agrees to take less
like Brady.
solely because he wants to have a team built around him so he can
Sure.
go win a Super Bowl. That like doing the Patrick Mahomes and the Tom Brady, which would be the smarter move in my opinion.
I mean, you want to have, take less to get a better line in front of you so you don't get killed, so you can play longer. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly.
My thing is with the Houston Texans is like, okay, did you get the offensive line help that was needed? Sean?
Buckeyes are making more than the Wolverines in the NFL. The scum players are out of the league so fast because they suck without Connor Stallion's cheat sheet by Mr. Christopher Wiles.
Yep. Yeah, good. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing but proof because think about it. 2024, all their players got drafted. Not all their players. Let's just say 13 players got drafted. Like only 5 of them are left in the NFL. You got like what? Freaking soon to be 4 to be honest, because Zach Zinner is trash, my dude.
Yeah,
He's
that breaks my
flat
heart
garbage.
too. Being a
It, it
Browns fan, I thought he was going to be good.
I didn't. If you actually watch that dude's film, that dude. I mean, even I had to watch it on Zach's stuff, and I see it. Okay, I see what people are talking about. Like, how is this guy seen as a good offensive lineman when this guy gets beat? Even in the run game, he wasn't good. It was actually pretty. It was like wow.
I
And
do,
then watching him in there, I'm like, well, no wonder.
I do think Mason Graham and Grant will make some big bucks in the NFL.
Kenneth Grant, I'm gonna be a little. I'm not gonna lie. I think people are kind of reaching. Like he's got to prove it to me because for as good as people think he is, he's got to prove it. Like I think the only for sure guy is literally Mason Graham, and until like I see the other players because I don't know about Kenneth Grant. Will Johnson, I think is highly overrated. I've talked about this before. Like he's only a good player in zone. If you put a man to man, he's as good as dead. It's like because if I'm every team, I'm finna try to get if they're playing man to man, I am putting Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Anthony Brown, not Anthony Brown, what's his AJ Brown.
Thank you, Ron.
I'm putting my best receiver on Will Johnson all day, every day. And I'm just finna expose this dude. Because here's the funny thing. NFL teams will tell you, no matter what people think of when it comes to the Buckeye defensive backs, like the Buckeye defensive backs are, I mean, they said this about Jeff Okuda and Denzel Ward. If those guys weren't dealing with like injuries, those guys would have been the 2 best corners in the NFL. So like they, and not only that, but we seen even when Ohio State's defensive back room was a duel so hot in 21 and 22, when they went to the NFL, they actually played really well. I mean, look at Ronnie Hickman for God's sakes. I mean, he's played pretty well in the NFL for the Cleveland Browns. Tanner
Yeah.
McAllister, he's still there. Like they've been really good, no matter what people said. So no matter what people think, it's like Ohio State defensive backs. Like I think NFL teams would take Denzel Burke more seriously than Will Johnson because they're like, nah, man to man coverage. I mean, do you see what this guy was guarding for how many years? Like how many years has been at Ohio State? 5?
Yeah, the thing is though, I consider Will Johnson kind of like a Richard Sherman. And look at
I
what
don't.
Richard Sherman wasn't the greatest man cover, but he's awesome at zone. If you put him in the right zone coverage like Pete Carroll did with the Seattle Seahawks, they mastered that coverage, that zone defense. If someone does that with Will Johnson, he's going to be successful. But if they don't, I mean, you
Honestly,
better
I wonder if Will Johnson can even read an offense in the NFL because that's the one thing. It's like, dude, can you read an offense? Can you actually play? Because again, I don't think that world of him. I think he's a good zone player, but it's like I just don't think the world of him. I don't, and I don't put him on the level of Richard Sherman. Like that's just so disrespectful to Richard Sherman.
oh,
That's just so disrespectful.
hey, Richard Sherman wasn't a great man corner.
No, he wasn't great. And let me tell you this, he wasn't great, but I can tell you he was better than Will Johnson by a mile.
I was just making a point. If you put him in the right defense, like they put Richard Sherman, he'll be successful. That was my point. I wasn't trying to say. How about his shoes? Can he carry his shoes?
Nope. not at all.
I got one for Christopher Wilde. Couldn't carry the Ultimate Warriors jock. That'll get him
Oh
going.
man, that's funny.
Love
Hey,
it. Chris. Thank
Charles
you.
Park does. Ohio State currently have the most. It's Alabama. Ohio State's second.
'Cause
Ohio
if you-
State's second. So
If you look, there was a couple of years where we didn't have that many people drafted. I mean, Alabama's usually, pretty good at getting 7 or 8 guys in the draft. but this year I don't think they
You know
have
what's
it.
super funny too is like when you think about like the draft, as far as like go back to like 2024, as I mentioned. Remember, we had like 4 guys that didn't get drafted, and like we have like 6 of them out of the 8 that went in the NFL, and the only 2 that aren't there right now is Josh Proctor and Steel Chambers, and both of them were on NFL teams in 2024. Like we actually had 8 Buckeyes, 8 on in the
Yeah.
2024 teams in the NFL than Michigan had before the season even started.
I mean,
Imagine that.
Michael Hall Jr. played a great last year. I was happy with his development. I
Oh
mean,
heck yeah.
he got nicked up a little bit, but man, that was a heck of a draft pick by the Browns.
A smart draft pick, but
Oh, that's what drives
apparently
me
they never
nuts.
learn.
Cleveland, Columbus, not that far away. You don't have to go that far to get the guy. I mean, you can drive
Exactly.
right up there. I mean, you got Quinshawn. I give you, great job doing that. But I mean, there's so many other players. You could have taken Jack Sawyer. You could instead of
Yeah,
taking
like you
Dylan
should have.
Gabriel. What was? Oh, I don't
I
even
mean,
want to talk
man, let
about
me
the
tell you something. You
Browns.
should have took Will Howard, maybe.
But yeah, I mean,
Like, what the F? What are you doing? What are we doing?
there's a reason they call it the
This the
mistake
thing
by
with
the
the
way.
Cleveland Browns, though. It's actually the thing with the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals, because whether you know it or not, I am in the NFL community a lot, and I have friends in the NFL community. All of them ask, why is it that the Cleveland Browns, like, and the Cincinnati Bengals never take talent from Ohio State when everybody be wanting them? Like, the freaking Arizona Cardinals fans have been begging the Arizona Cardinals to draft Ohio State players, get a pipeline out of there. Guess
Well,
what? You got like what, 7, 8 Buckeyes on that team? They finally are getting what they asked for. And apparently they actually liking what they're seeing out of the Ohio State players. Like they love what they're seeing out of them, even with the start of training camp. So they're like, we're finally getting into the Ohio State pipeline. Finally.
well,
Why are the Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals not doing that?
hey, I'll give the Bengals some credit though. They've picked more than the Browns have. I mean, the Browns did
True.
get Denzel Ward. Hallelujah. I mean, he's been great besides his having concussions, which kind of bothers me because he's had like 6 of them, and I don't want the poor guy to be, criddled.
Yeah, it says Schrock dial up internet give one the Ohio State Buckeyes. Oh man, that's funny. Buckeye Bliss was gifted a membership by Schrock's dial up the internet.
And that's my brother Blitz, my 419 brother.
Oh man, I found that so funny. Schrock's dialed up internet. That is so funny.
And I even bought one of those boosters too, and it still didn't work tonight. I don't know what the heck.
Sometimes.
I'm
Hey,
just
if you
going
ever
to go
need help.
get a new modem this week, so we'll run up and
Yeah.
switch out, update them. But guys, we want to thank everybody tonight for coming in. TG, hey TG, I don't know what it said, but
Oh, I'm sorry. It's like the thing moved too fast as I was scrolling, and then it's like, what the frick?
Miami is awesome. With the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Dan! Oh my gosh, Dan's back.
Yeah.
Wow. Dan has made a comeback.
That's awesome. Is he freaking serious? Has not, and our old line recruiting had been lacking with Fry as our offensive line coach. Then we actually blown who actually knows how to recruit. Suddenly the old line. Honestly, here's what I'm gonna say about that. I honestly don't have a problem with the way the one problem I have with Justin Fry's recruitment is the amount of bodies he had in the offensive line. It's not who he would get, because I really don't care. Like 5-star offensive linemen, you never know how good they're gonna turn out. I said it before, they have a 90% bust rate. 5-star offensive linemen. And in today's day and age, they're like the new divas. Because they're 5 stars and they beg for more money. And I hate that.
Well, it takes so long you barely ever see freshman offensive lineman ever. I mean, unless someone gets hurt. I mean, Orlando Pace, Corey Springer, Michael Jordan. I mean, very few have come to Ohio State and started. I mean,
Paris Johnson.
Paris Johnson. It just takes a while. I mean, you have to be able to develop these guys.
Mm-hmm. Look at what Chris said. TG sure I'll be playing comment war like Eric and I. LOL. Oh man, I love that. And Eric actually asks, who is TG and who is Sean in our relationship, Chris? LOL. Like, let me put Oh man,
Oh,
that's funny. And not only that, I see you, Terry. Yes, he did. Um, I don't know why. I'm not gonna lie. I put the Buckeyes at 3. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you want to put Penn State at 1, I absolutely understand it. Even though I will never, and I mean ever, ever understand. I will never trust James Franklin for nothing. I
James,
never will.
James
I never
Franklin,
will.
James Franklin, you know.
And here's the thing, though. Like with Texas, I can understand it because of Arch Manning, but like
Yeah.
everybody else you have ranked ahead of us, like the other two teams, I mean,
I can
come on,
understand
man.
Clemson, honestly. They got a lot
I
of
can
quarterbacks.
understand.
They
Well,
got a
Clemson,
good
yeah, well,
quarterback.
Clemson, I can actually understand actually because they actually do have the most returning talent, but I am not confident in Dabo Sweet. I'm just
Hey, he's won the big one. He's one of
he's
3.
done it
And,
twice. He's done it twice, and I'm not gonna lie. But the thing is, what how he's been this year, or better yet, these past set of years, it's like, dude, you've been taking a step back. It's like, can you adapt?
he started to. He actually took some recruits. Can you believe that?
Finally, yeah,
Part
finally.
2 is coming soon. 6:25. Damn the diesel. Ooh, I wonder if him and Burks are gonna have another round too. Hey Dan, the last time that happened, you got embarrassed pretty bad, buddy.
Dang.
I think you just need to chill on it. Maybe you and Burks can have a podcast together, man.
hmm
You guys need to stop fighting and you know be civil to each other.
hmm Check for the comment. Oh man, Dan,
I don't
I
want to
got
see
it.
that. Miami is a
Uh,
beautiful place.
yeah, it's actually beautiful. It was kind of funny because some members of my family were planning on living down there. I don't know if those plans ever came to fruition, but I said, "Hey, go for it."
Do you guys remember back in the early 2000s when they used to have a football team? Then they
hmm
kind of got embarrassed and they kind of got beat in a national championship game and kind of haven't seen them since.
Yeah, I mean, Ohio State basically put them in the dungeon. And Miami fans hate Ohio State for that because they ain't been relevant in a minute. And it's like, I'm like, it's Florida's time now. Like, man, y'all time been passed. Like, if there's one thing about the
They keep
schools
spending
of the
money.
state of Florida, it's like, it's always one of your turns. And if one of you screw up, man, back to the back of the line.
Well, what I
And
don't
Lacey,
understand, they got
yeah.
all that beautiful weather, beautiful scenery, a ton of money down there, and a ton of talent. How can you guys not be a dynasty down there? I mean, honestly,
I mean, coaching has to be a problem because remember they took like a 5-star offensive lineman from us, and that dude ain't that dude's not even on the depth chart, which is what's crazy. On top of the fact that, on top of the fact that when it comes to Miami, I mean, they took what? Justin Scott. What is he doing?
he's a millionaire. I mean, sitting on the beach.
That's it, bro. Like you ain't going to the NFL.
I mean,
Like, dude, I mean, dude, Miami's defensive line. I watched them all season. I'm like, they were saying this defensive line was good. I was like, where? They were getting pushed off the ball a lot.
well, you,
Especially once they went up against Georgia Tech. Man, Georgia Tech's offensive line was bullying their D line. It was so funny to me.
you would think with Jason Taylor being on that line coaching that they would have been pretty good at least because I mean, dude's a Hall of Famer and I think you'd at least help them guys develop. But
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And Lisa's pretty much correct. I would actually believe Penn State beats us. I would have to actually see it.
Penn State, the year they beat us was on a blocked field goal.
A
Lisa,
fluky block field goal.
yeah,
Fluky. And think about it too. Ohio State's been at their worst, and it's like when our secondary is at its worst, and they actually had NFL receivers, they still didn't beat us. So like, when?
they beat us when Urban Meyer was coach. They blocked a field goal and took it for
No,
a
I'm talking about back
touchdown.
when. I'm talking about when our defense was like at its worst.
Wow.
In like 2018, 21, even 22, as much as it wasn't at its worst, it still wasn't good. And you had NFL receivers and you still didn't win. So
Yeah.
until you actually show you can beat Ohio State, because you've seen Ohio State at their worst and you still can't win a victory, like it took a fluky block for you to win. Like, bro, if you don't get out of here.
And they didn't call a pass interference that they should have on that Noah Brown got pulled down when he was trying to catch the pass.
Yeah, which
But
was total
it is
BS.
what it
I
is.
was so mad at that.
But it always happens to us. I mean, no, you got to roll with it. It is what it is. Should have not had that mistake on the extra point. I mean, on the field goal.
Yeah. Cause and it was actually
Thanks,
pretty awesome
Lisa.
too. Yeah, thanks, Lisa. And don't forget to thank Dan because he said you're his guy.
Thanks, Diesel Dan. I really think Steely though could be a good mentor to Diesel Dan. So Dan, you need to find Steely Matt, and he could be a real good mentor to you, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is a good one right here, Chris. Cause he ain't wrong.
No, he's not.
He ain't wrong. Like, man, get yourself some real coaching. Like, and not only that too, but like when Miami's offensive line, you know what I found so funny? They said that how what's his name? The head coach Mario Cristobal so good at developing the offensive line. I'm like, why you getting beat as badly as you did last year then?
How do you spend all that money and still get beat down? I mean,
Like dirt, bro. It'd be crazy to me. I'm like, how you spending that kind of money and you getting your butt kicked every which way sideways? Like put belt to butt is basically like
I,
that's what that was, just
I mean,
belt to butt on your offensive line.
I think they took a big risk on Carson Beck. I wouldn't have paid him that much money, but
I mean,
desperate
they did
times
take a
come to
big risk.
desperate measures.
hmm Nick Saban isn't in the SEC anymore. Georgia is
Ricky,
just wrecking cars and getting speeding tickets. It's Florida time to shine.
hey, that quarterback, was that? How do you pronounce Florida quarterback? That freshman. Dang, that's gonna kill me. CJ, is it
CJ, what are you talking about? CJ Son or something like that?
DJ
Lag,
Lagway.
DJ
Lagway?
Lagway. Oh,
DJ
I'm thinking
Lagway.
you thinking of some. I was thinking you're thinking of like someone else, like Jason
No,
Rashad or somebody else.
no,
Like,
Lagway. That kid come on last year for him, and I'm actually excited to see what he could do for Florida.
yep. Sean needs the LeBron Ohio State pair exclusive shoes.
Hey, Dan, if you want to buy them for me, I'm a size 14. You know, I won't say no.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, I mean there will be more information out there because if I was actually reading something about Ohio State, and it talked about like how about the defensive line because we did not like outside of um Atkinson, we really didn't get a D tackle like we should have. But I guess it's because like the offensive linemen, these D tackles are total divas, asking for too much money.
Oh, I think that then I think they're happy with the guys they got, but I still would like to get another one for depth
Yeah,
purposes.
no, like the one I wanted them to get was the Oklahoma State guy because I feel like he should be the guy to back up Caden McDonald because I don't want him in there for like 70 some snaps. Like
No,
you need a big dude behind him.
they didn't
Like you do,
mentor.
and that's why I'm worried because I get that they got Will Smith behind him, but I'm like he's got to put on some more weight, or he's got to show how strong he is because that kind of terrifies me a little bit. Like if he's off the field, like if K McDonald's off the field and we have a problem with run and we have to go up against like teams that are all about running the ball, that's gonna be a big problem.
I think Eric
Like
Mentor could be that guy. He's a big dude.
yeah,
He looked good in the spring game at times, so I think he
if
could
he can
step
step
up.
up and be that guy, like I'm rooting for Will, I'm rooting for Jason, I'm rooting
Right.
for all them guys. I think Taiwan, first of all, anybody thought Taiwan wasn't good. I'm like, y'all did not see him last year when he stepped on the field. The dude was actually pretty productive. So like I'm actually hoping that he gets more playing time because I think he deserves it. I think and again, he wasn't as focused on football as he should have been because he was doing baseball, but he's like, who can blame him for that, man?
Hey, the guy won a national championship in baseball, then turned around and went and transferred to Ohio State and won a national championship in football, man. That's pretty cool stuff. Well, guys, it's been an hour. Everybody that showed up tonight, we thank you. Want to thank RJ Day. Want to thank
Mhm.
our awesome producer, Buckeye Boggs, who helped us out tonight. Like always. Thanks,
Thank
brother.
you, Box.
Just all of our friends in the chat that always come to support us. We appreciate you all. Anybody you want to mention, TG, before we get off here?
The one thing I want to say is pretty much again, thank you to Eric for being our awesome producer. RJ Day, it was awesome talking to you, getting the chance to speak with you. I hope you come on at some point. I really would love to talk to you again. And I also want to thank everybody here in the chat. I want to thank my family who's watching on the show. I pretty much want to say I just appreciate everything, and I'm happy I'm here.
Amen to that. Everybody, take care of yourselves out there. Everybody be safe. And we will see you next Tuesday on the Buckeye Lounge. And don't forget the sorry guys, the
Like,
call-in show.
share.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the call-in show on
Don't forget
Thursday.
the college show.
Don't forget the call-in show for
With our
Eric
buddy
and
Eric.
our buddy Eric. Always call in on Thursdays.
Always. And make sure you guys like, share, subscribe across all platforms.
Please.
Share it out to your friends, family. Get this all the way out there. Help our channel grow, help the show grow, help us all out here. We're pretty much going to be looking forward to even getting more exciting content, including even more interviews with some awesome people. Trust me, y'all going to love them.
And we're also going to have Tim Anderson on more. He had some stuff to do this week and couldn't be on, but Tim will definitely be a big part of our show, and he'll be our third co-host. So till next time, guys, I'm the Shrockstar. That's the Wolverine Slayer TG. OH.
IO. We out,
Peace
people. Go
out.
Bucks.